What's going on, people? I hope everyone had a good Christmas. Kagey is back, and I even hope that the people that mocked me in my last video had a good Christmas too. I saw you all, but between my video and the stream with Rants and Bants following that 6-2 loss, I held all the jokes, I held all the smoke. I still turn up, it's all good, because we're going to have days like that where we lose 6-2, but then we're going to have days like this where we win a game. We took care of Burnley today, 1-0, and that's another clean sheet. 5 of them, count them, 5. People love talking about our defence. We got 5 clean sheets. There's not many teams in the league that have got that, but they haven't been criticised yet. But hey, it's what happens when you play a non-traditional style of play that the pundits and commentators today, people like the commentators today, just don't understand or don't want to understand. That's fine. As long as you're behind Bielsa, you're a Leeds United fan and you're behind Bielsa, that's all that matters. I actually had that commentary on today and woof, that commentary stank. They wanted us to concede so bad. You could hear it. Every time there was a ball kicked into the box that Meslier dealt with, they wanted it to go in so bad, just so they can go with that narrative that we need to change our style of play. Now listen, even after the 6-2 defeat, I said that we didn't need to change our style of play. The players just didn't turn up properly in the first 10-20 minutes of that game. Today, we didn't change our style of play. Burnley was still getting through. They were still getting chances. But we were just more resolute. We were more, defensively sound today. And that's going to happen. You do not have 5 clean sheets at this stage of the season if you're just poor defensive in the majority of the games. You just don't. I swear I heard Crystal Palace have only got 1 clean sheet all season, and we keep on hearing how great defensively they are. Well, just because they're not conceding 4 in one game or what have you, which they have been recently, haven't they? They've been conceding a lot, but that doesn't mean that your defense is any better than ours. Case in point today. Like I say with those commentators, man, I try not to listen with commentary on, because right now there's just a bunch of pundits and commentators now that are just out for Leeds United in terms of the way we're playing. And you know what it is? It's that, and we know what it is. It's the Marcelo Bielsa thing of not speaking English in interviews. Whether he doesn't know how to speak English or he chooses not to, he uses an interpreter. They don't like it. And you know the kind of people I'm talking about. I don't even have to describe what these people look like. You know exactly their age range. You know exactly what kind of look they've got on them. You know exactly what they're saying as well. Oh, they need to speak English. Oh, the players don't understand him. How can they understand him? How did they understand when we got promoted? How did they understand when we won the championship by 10 points? There is nothing wrong with the way that we play. Like I say, we're going to have hits and misses. Sometimes it's going to work, sometimes it's not. But as we go on in this Premier League journey, as the years go by, we're going to have better players. And there's going to be more hits than misses. That's just a fact. But right now, while we've got the squad that we have, we're going to suffer a few heavy defeats, but we're also going to dish them out too. And I'll get to that later. But yeah, the game today there wasn't much to talk about. We were up against Burnley, Steak and Kidney FC, and we matched them. We got physical with them. As Bamford said at the end, we haven't come up against a team like this so far in the league, and we had to get a bit more physical today, and I think we did that. The commentators were hammering Meslier, but Meslier was putting his body on the line. He was clearing everything. He was saving everything. Pascal Struijk came in today, Virgil van Struijk, and remember you heard that here. Virgil van Struijk came in and they didn't get around him, and he was intercepting and clearing everything too. We can do those performances. We've done those performances. We had to do one again at the other Brexit club, Sheffield United, earlier this season when we won 1-0. We cannot impose our style on every game, but eventually we will get a breakthrough and we will score a goal. Today, there was an incident, Nick Pope. I've said, as if you've been a long time listener of mine on podcasts and other live stream, I've said all along, Nick Pope for me is easily one of the best goalkeepers in the league. It's not even close for me. I'd go as far as saying if I was to draft a Premier League team, I'm probably putting Nick Pope in between sticks. Sounds crazy to everyone that loves off Alisson, Edison and all those other keepers. They're great keepers. But Nick Pope isn't getting the respect he deserves because he's at Burnley. If you go back, look at Nick Pope's consistency levels over the last few years. The guy broke in with an informed Tom Heaton when Heaton was out injured and kept that shirt until he then gets injured. Burnley then bring in Joe Hart to back up Tom Heaton. Nick Pope comes back from injury and both of those keepers have been moved out. Nick Pope's number one and he's been consistent with that. When you're talking about a keeper giving you that kind of consistency, he deserves so much respect, much more than he's getting now. He's not just an option for England. He is England's number one in my eyes. It's not even close either. You know, the distribution label keeps on getting thrown around. As I say, when one person says it, you know, it's all of a sudden a Chinese whisper, everyone hears it and then goes with it. His distribution's poor. If people are that worried about his distribution, just ask him to roll it out to a defender and let them get on with it. But when it comes to command in the box, when it comes to shot stopping, he's clear. He's clear of Pickford, and he's clear of Henderson. And Dean Henderson's a good goalkeeper, but he doesn't play enough. So you can't go picking him over Nick Pope. Like, you just can't. So for me, Nick Pope was the key for me today, and he gave away a penalty. It was a penalty. You know, there's no disputing that. Patrick Bamford puts it away for his 10th of the season. Big energy on Patrick Bamford too. I love that at the end of the interview where he's talking about going for the golden boot. Do you know how many times you hear players talking about when they're asked those kind of questions, they'll say, no, well, you know, I'll try my best and, you know, as long as the team's winning. Patrick Bamford has come out and said, I want that golden boot. And I love that. From a striker, that's what I want to hear. And it shows me that he's going to be hungry this season to just keep on going in this fame. He's already on 10 goals. He's probably got the golden boot and an England place in his sight. Whether he gets the England place or not, I don't know. But he's going to give himself every opportunity in order for Gareth Southgate to go, well, this is going to be too difficult to leave you out. And Patrick, he's earned that so far. His Premier League form has been outstanding. Yeah, he's missing chances, but he's got 10 at this stage of the season. You know, you cannot sniff at that. As I said before, I don't think even the most avid Patrick Bamford fan would have said that he's got 10 by now. So big up Bamford, man, and go for that golden boot, because the more he's trying to go for that, the better our results would be too, most definitely. After that, it was a scrappy game. You know, I'm not going to lie. You know, you're up against, as I say, you know, you're up against that kind of Brexit lineup where there's not a lot of flair. It's a lot of hard work and grit and determination and rah, rah, rah. So you're not going to get much joy out of it. But we defended well. We handled our business well. I mentioned Virgil van Dijk stepping in, being a rock. Calvin Phillips, you know, put to bed that 6-2 defeat at Man United and just bust that defensive midfield. Even when he dropped back into defence, he was magnificent. Luke Ayling was sound again. Meslier was unbelievable. The thing is, you know what? I'll be interested to see a few of my peers talking about Meslier, because usually I'm starting to notice a little pattern that when commentators say something, it just seems to get taken as fact, and other people just keep on repeating it. You know, so instead of seeing that Meslier actually had a strong game today, they'll be saying that, oh God, he looked uncomfortable. Meslier didn't look uncomfortable today. He looked the opposite for me. He didn't have to get all physical with those Burnley strikers, but he did. He was getting in the thick of it every time, trying to catch everything, trying to punch everything. You can't ask for more than that. You know, he got co-signed today as well from David James and Nigel Martin. I'll take their opinions over some commentators any day of the week. Did Burnley deserve a penalty? I'm going to take the Arsene Wenger route and say, I didn't see it. You know, you're going to get these in the season, aren't you? You know, we had the one against Crystal Palace disallowed for offside for Bamford's arm. It will level itself out over the season, but by that point there was so much of the game to go that it shouldn't have affected Burnley all that much. you know. But hey, we take that 1-0 win. I think we're currently 12th right now, so hey, this is on point for where I believe that we'll be in the table. Next up is West Brom, and you know, I've seen a couple of people say they're nervous about the West Brom thing, especially after they drew today against Liverpool. But nah, not me. Now I'm coming with the energy today, because I tell you what, if we're up in the Prem and we're worried about teams like West Brom, then why even bother being here? I think this is going to be an absolute pummeling for West Brom. You know, like in Law Abiding Citizen, where Gerald Butler says, it's going to be biblical. This is going to be biblical. I think it's going to be 4-0. 3-4-0. I'm telling you, I think that we're going to absolutely annihilate them. They had to do a lot of defending today without the ball. That takes it out of you. And if they want to draft in some of their subs, bring it on. I don't worry about West Brom. I think we're going to win 3-4-0, and Bamford's going to get a couple. And I'm going to put that on record right now. So I'm not worried about West Brom. Liverpool didn't take care of their business today. That's up to them. I think we're going to carry on our momentum from this game and absolutely mollywop West Brom. I think it's going to be ugly too. You know what I mean? I think Big Sam's in for a rude awakening against our team. That's how I see it. That's how I see it. Right? But yeah, listen. All the support on the channel, man. I mean, obviously the last video was nuts. I mean, as I said, I didn't watch it back. I didn't watch the game back, but hopefully people are here for the wins as well as the losses, because we're gonna have a lot of wins this season. Just saying. That's just the way it is. People want to pour hot, cold water on our team. I'm here to bring the smoke back. Okay, we're a good team, and we're gonna be more than all right in the Premier League. More than all right. So yeah, people like, subscribe, comment. Let's get this thing growing. Let's get this thing, you know, let's build a community here. This is what we're about. So yeah, I'll probably see you after the West Bromwich Albion game. A victory against West Brom. Peace.